And we're back to the 3-2-1A State Wrestling Championships here at Gross Memorial Coliseum, again on the campus of Fort Hays State University. And we're getting set for action in the consolation finals, which would be the matches where we wrestle for third and fourth place hardware.
What's nice about this is we don't have to choose between matches anymore. There's only 2 matches going on in this particular round for third place, so we're going to be able to show you those matches in their entirety and not bounce around from match to match.
While they are still warming up for these matches, we might run down again the matches that you'll be seeing in this particular round. Third and fourth place matches beginning at 106 pounds. It'll be Crow of Silver Lake, who many thought would be the state champion here. But it was upset in the first round by Ty Nanke of Ellsworth, and he has wrestled his way all the way back through the back door and will be wrestling for third place against Josh Gepford from Marysville.
Expect that one to be a very good third place match at 106. 113 pounds, Keegan Amos of Holcomb against John Solko of Rollins County. That is a rematch of last week's regional final won by Amos.
And at 120 pounds, Ryswick of Norton is scheduled to wrestle Beck of Centralia. Beck was the one who forfeited out, or rather didn't forfeit out, but was unable to finish the match after being illegally slammed by Alex Coe of Scott City in the semifinals. We have yet to see whether or not Beck will be able to wrestle in that match.
He's warming up now, looks pretty good to me, so we'll see if he officially goes here at 120 pounds. At 126 pounds, third place match, Dayton Dreyer of Oberlin and another Norton wrestler, Alec Hager.
At 132 pounds, Caleb Studley of Phillipsburg will be wrestling for the third place medal against Riley Soward of Halstead.
At 138 pounds, the match will be Brody Carroll of Marion and Mason Hurla of St. Mary's.
At 145, the matchup for third place honors will be between Chance Damel of Hoisington and Beloit's Bo Beheimer.
And at 152 pounds for third place should be a good one between Mark Smith of Rossville and Dalton Snyder of Hoxie. That's a big match for team implications. More on that coming up.
Back-to-back Hoxie Indians wrestling for third place at 160 pounds. It's Stephen Yergi Deibel, who will be taking on Colton Johnson of Marion.
170 pounds, Jason Berkren of Oakley against Caney Valley's Derek Bayless. That is a rematch from a quarterfinal match won 6-5 by Berkren.
182, another Hoisington wrestler again with team implications on the line. We'll get to that in just a moment. Hellerud of Hoisington will be taking on Atwood of Smith Center.
195 pounds, third place match, Oberlin's Jeff Shaw against Josh McDowell of Smith Center.
And at 220 pounds, it's Riker Greenbaum of Douglas wrestling Tanner Taylor of Burlington for third place.
And at 285 pounds, third place match, Clay Wilcox of Chaparral against Beloit's Jacob English.
Updated team scores after the fifth and sixth place matches. Scott City still in first place with 87.5. Hoxie has moved into second with 72.5, followed by just a half a point behind Hoisington at 72. That's why we were talking about the team implications. Hoisington and Hoxie both have 2 wrestlers wrestling for third place and 1 wrestler wrestling in the championships tonight. It's going to be very important for both teams to try to pick up on that major decision, that technical fall, that pin. Try to get as many team points as possible with just a half a point separating them and the same amount of wrestlers in each round.
Any additional half a point to 1 point that a wrestler could score is going to be very imperative. So it's coming down to the wire here against Scott City with a pretty sizable lead and 2 in the finals.
Hoxie and Hoisington leading Goodland by 9. Hoisington in his way, Hoxie by 9.5. So Goodland's still in the hunt because they've got 2 wrestlers in the finals tonight for first place.
A couple of those big boys, Lane Hurl and Riley O'Hara, will wrestle for the state championship at 195 and 220.
So here we go. Match is underway, or at least one is, at 106 pounds. That's on mat number 2. 106-pound matchup between Crow of Silver Lake and Gepford of Marysville.
Gepford, a third-place finisher at 103 pounds last year for Marysville. Marysville's had a good state tournament, putting 2 into the finals. Had a great first day of wrestling. Haven't seen them a whole lot here. They haven't had a whole lot of matches on the backside.
Top half of your screen, that is Gepford of Marysville in the black. The gold with the maroon eagles across the front would be your Silver Lake wrestler in Crow.
And the bottom of your bracket at 113 pounds, Keegan Amos of Holcomb, John Solko of Rollins County. Again, this is a rematch of the regional final tournament, won by, I believe it was 3 points by Keegan Amos. Solko has had a great second day. Lost his first match yesterday and then has won everything on the backside, including a 7-4 consolation semifinal win over Marshall Schottler of Lyons. Amos edged Clint Rogers of Smith Center 6-4, and there is Keegan Amos with the takedown and a 2-0 lead as time winds down in the first.
No score, top half of your screen. That first period has already concluded. No points awarded, and it looks like the Marysville wrestler, Gepford, is choosing the bottom position. Start the second period, now underway.
Talking about Keegan Amos last year, he made the finals at 103 pounds in the Goodland Regional, but was overweight, not able to wrestle in the finals, and not able to wrestle at state. So I would say he has certainly avenged that from last year, coming back with a chance to take third place at 113. Amos only a junior.
Gepford trying to come around, score a couple on Crow, and he does. That's the first 2 points of the match. They go to the Marysville Bulldog. It's 2-0, 1:35 remaining second period. We'll restart with Gepford in the top position.
That is a junior freshman matchup, as Gepford is a junior and Crow a freshman. Both of them have had outstanding regular seasons and have done well in this state tournament. 2-0 continues to be the lead on the bottom of your screen at 113 pounds. The wrestler in the top position, Amos of Holcomb, with that lead. Amos looking for some back points, but just one shoulder was down. Stalemate called, back to the center of the mat. 2-0, Amos of Holcomb.
Still 2-0 the score on the top half of your screen as well, with Gepford of Marysville on top, both in position and on the scoreboard. 45 seconds left here in the second.
If you're wondering who these wrestlers lost to, Gepford was decisioned by Trey Franska of Chase County 6-0 in last night's semifinals. And as we mentioned, Kameen Crow lost his first match to Ty Ninke of Ellsworth 12-11, a match that Crow had led throughout most of it. That was a last-second win for Ninke, and then Crow has come all the way back and has a chance to win 5 matches on the backside and take home third place. Gets an escape and cuts the lead in half. It's now 2-1, Gepford.
22 seconds remaining in the second. Now to the bottom half, where Keegan Amos is still holding on to that 2-0 lead he acquired with the takedown in the first. He's been able to ride out his opponent thus far here in the second period. Soko of Atwood. 30 seconds remaining in the second. Again, 2-0. Amos still in the lead and in the top position.
And on the top of your screen, in the last 10 seconds, Kameen Crow of Silver Lake getting a takedown, and he has his first lead of the match now, 3-2, his choice, and the Silver Lake freshman will take bottom. This is an important round. To me, third place sounds so much better than fourth. And if you're a senior, you get to go out on a high note. And if you're an underclassman, that gives you a little momentum. You've won your last match going into the next year.
Time expires in the second period. On the bottom half of your screen, we'll start the final 2 minutes with a 2-0 lead for Keegan of Amos. He is in the white and in the bottom position.
Again, Amos getting the takedown in the first period, and that's been the only point scored in this match.
Trying to get a Granby hooked up here, it looks like.
Crow of Silver Lake, and Escape now doubles up Geffert 4-2.
And gets warned for stalling as they go off the edge of the mat there. Just minute 9 left for Geffert to try to get the takedown and tie that thing up. Amos about to come around and score a couple here. We'll see if he's able to do it before a stalemate's called. Nope, there's the stalemate. He'll start out in the bottom position again. 55 seconds left, but Amos of Holcomb is leading 2-0 over Soko of Atwood.
See what Soko elects to do with 43 seconds left. Going to be tough to turn Amos over. At some point, you've got to wonder, does he let Amos get an escape and then try for some sort of a throw? Or quick takedown, let him up, another takedown to tie it up. Time running out, though, in this match.
30 seconds as we restart on the top half of your screen. Again, Kameen Crow of Silver Lake in the goal and leading 4-2. Geffert from Marysville needs to get something done here as we're down to 20 seconds.
And 9 seconds left in the 113-pound third place match. And Soko, it looks like, will allow Amos, nope, try to wrestle out in front of him. And looking for a turn, but not going to get it done in the final 4 seconds or so in a 2-0 third place win for Keegan Amos of Holcomb. And Kameen Crow of Silver Lake, a 4-2 win. That's a nice first state tournament for the Silver Lake freshman.
Long day when you lose first round and wind up getting third.
Yeah, that's tough to do. It's tough to come through that backside. That's a lot of matches on this second day. Next couple of matches, Troy, will be the 120-pound third place match. John Ryswick of Norton versus Andrew Beck of Centralia. Ryswick, a two-time state finalist, state champion 2 years ago. And then the 126-pound third place match, Dayton Dreyer of Oberlin, Alec Hager of Norton.
120-pound match is on mat number 3.
And that's on the bottom of your screen, and Ryswick very close to a takedown. Beck does a nice job of holding him off, though. You know, Beck's been pretty impressive. Ryswick beat him in the quarterfinals 9-3. So Ryswick already 1-0 against Beck. And Ryswick does get the takedown, I believe, or they have not awarded anything yet.
Yeah, he's surely gotten it by now. They just haven't put it up on the board. Should be 2-0. Ryswick over Beck. Now Beck's going to come out and get an escape and make it a 2-1 match.
Beck is a sophomore, Ryswick a junior. Dreyer of Oberlin getting a first period takedown at 126 pounds and leads 2-0. An impressive backside performance by Dayton Dreyer of Oberlin, looking to finish third for the second year in a row.
He leads 2-0, 5 seconds and counting as we're going to round out the first period. Dreyer with the opening takedown and then able to ride out, excuse me, Hager for the duration of the period and takes a 2-0 lead into period number 2.
Ryswick losing last night to Brandon Ball of Hoisington 4-0 in the semifinals. Beck, as we mentioned, his lone loss in the tournament to Ryswick in the quarterfinals, 9-3. He won by disqualification and a legal slam by Alex Coe in the consolation semifinals, but was doing very well in that matchup until that point. So this is a pretty legitimate wrestler as Ryswick starts out the second period on bottom. Dreyer, meanwhile, his lone loss in the tournament to Hunter Spear of Horton, who's in the finals, lost to Spear 8-4 in the quarterfinals. And Alec Hager lost to Spear as well, 10-5 in the semis. There's a reversal for the Norton Jr. In 2 Norton wrestlers on the mat now. Hager at 126 pounds on the bottom of the top of your screen, trailing now at least 6-0. Looks like it will be 6-0. And Ryswick at 120 pounds on the bottom of your screen is up 4-1.
Of course, both Norton wrestlers in the yellow uniforms. Dreyer of Oberlin in the gray with the red stripes down the side.
First time in 17 years that the Blue Jays have not had a wrestler in the finals.
Beck of Centralia in the polka dot socks.
Well, this 120-pound weight class has really been turned upside down with Ball and Elbrader, Ball of Hoisington, Elbrader of Burlington getting through to the finals. So Ryswick will get 2 back points and now leading 6-1. And Dreyer in command 8-0.
Reversal given at the very end of the second period. It's going to make it 8-2 Dreyer over Hager as we enter the final 2 minutes. Top half of your screen.
Second period ends at the 120-pound third place match with Ryswick leading 6-1. Ryswick, a state runner-up from a year ago, lost to Clay Mulligan of Scott City in the finals. A state champion 2 years ago, having defeated Trey Franska of Chase County.
Both matches now underway in the third period. Here comes Hager. He's got a pretty good single leg hooked up here. He's going to turn it into 2 points, too, it looks like. Maybe not. Awfully close, but
Dreyer had just kind of a modified whizzer in, just enough to fend off Hager.
just enough to put some doubt in the referee's mind right there on the edge of the mat.
that was pretty close. Beck trailing Ryswick at 120 pounds, 6-1. Doing a nice job at the top position, but again, he trails by 5.
That match under a minute remaining. Bottom half of your screen. 45 seconds and ticking. Top half, still 8-2. Dreyer over Hager of Norton.
40 seconds left at 120 pounds and 24 seconds left at 126. As Hager gets the takedown, still trails by 4. So what will he have up his sleeve with 21 seconds left?
Down to 10 seconds. Dreyer 8-4 now, almost gets an escape. Going to give him one and make it a final 9-4. Dreyer of Oberlin over Hager of Norton for third place at 126 pounds. And time expires on the top half of your screen, or bottom half of your screen as well. So Ryswick of Norton will defeat Beck of Centralia 7-1 to pick up the third place hardware, and we'll be back with 130 and 138 pound matches, or 132 and 138 pound matches after this on Smoky Hills Public Television. And back at Gross Memorial Coliseum here on the campus of Fort Hays State University, Troy Recheck, Mike Holliday preparing to cover a couple more third place matches here at the 3-2-1A State Wrestling Championship for 2012. These will be the third place matchups at 132 and 138 pounds, Mike.
132-pound third place match, Caleb Studley of Phillipsburg against Riley Soward of Halstead. And what about the junior from Phillipsburg? Done a great job to get in this third place match. And he'll have a third place finisher from last year in Riley Soward of Halstead. And 138 pounds on the bottom of your screen, Brody Carroll of Marion against Mason Hurla of St. Mary's, 2 regional champions.
No points awarded yet there, the top half of your screen, but now we finally do get 2 awarded to Soward of Halstead. Soward of Halstead in the top position with the light blue on. Studley of Phillipsburg on the bottom. He's got the dark blue with the white P on the side of his uniform. Bottom half of your screen, the Marion wrestler Brody Carroll would be in the red, white, and blue. And the different shades of blue is Hurla of St. Mary's.
Soward finishing in third place last year at 130 pounds. He had a chance to talk to his coach last night, and his coach said that he had wrestled Biddle quite a bit this year, but does not get to see Biddle in this tournament. And Biddle had gotten the best of Soward several times. So that's good news for Soward.
Soward was probably happy that Studley was able to beat Biddle in the semifinals, because he'd rather wrestle Studley just to wrestle someone different. I think his coach told me it was 5 times that they've met, and Biddle won all 5. So.
And Biddle took just 6th place. Juneman from Oberlin beat him 9-1 in the 5th place match. Carroll of Marion on the bottom of your screen with a 2-1 lead over Mason Hurla of St. Mary's. Carroll, a 5th place finisher last year at state. In fact, Carroll wrestled 130 pounds, same weight as Riley Soward from Halstead.
Still 2-0 your score, top half of the screen now, just a little over a minute remaining in the second period. Soward of Halstead on top and on top. (3-1) the score on the bottom half of your screen. Just under a minute in the second period. Carroll with the lead, 3-1 over Hurla of St. Mary's.
132 pounds, Studley of Phillipsburg, who trails this match 2-0. His lone loss to Brogan Humphrey of Fredonia in the semifinals, 9-0 was the final score there. Riley Soward Meanwhile, a 7-4 loss to Clay Mulligan of Scott City. That was a pretty good match in the semifinals. 138 pounds. Brody Carroll's lone loss to James Landell of Marysville. Remember, that was a last-second win for the junior from Marysville, 5-4. And Mason Hurla was pinned by Calvin Oakes of Hoxie in the semifinals. So the top 4 placers at 138, all regional champions last week. Second period runs out at 132, and Studley of Phillipsburg trailing Soward of Halstead 2-0. Third period will begin with the wrestlers on their feet. Remember being very impressed with Soward a year ago. And he's impressive in this match. Close to getting a takedown. Stalemate called. Soward still on top 2-0. And Carroll on the bottom of your screen from Marion wearing the red singlet up 3-1.
Almost locked hands there by Soward, but he was able to keep them from touching. They weren't on top of one another, but even if they just butt together, it's locked hands. And he was able just to keep them a little bit apart. So nice counter there. Stopping a great switch by Studley. Oh, that looked like it might hurt a little. And they're calling that an illegal slam.
That certainly wasn't a purposeful slam, but
you don't normally see illegal slams on the defensive wrestler, but no matter what the case, if you've got the other wrestler elevated in the air, whether you're on offense or defense, you're obligated to bring him back to the mat safely.
So I didn't mean to doesn't work.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. It might work with your parents or your coach, but it's not going to work with the referee.
And it looks like simply the momentum just took him down to the mat there, and Soward in a little bit of pain. All told, he'll lead at 3-0 with a minute 15 left. 130-pound third-place match. And things have tightened up in the 138-pound third-place match. Carroll of Marion with a 3-2 lead, just 30 seconds left. His opponent, Mason Hurla of St. Mary's.
Ten seconds left, 1-point match. Carroll of Marion on top. And it looks like he's going to hold on to that 3-2 victory. So Marion picks up a third place finisher in Brody Carroll at 138 pounds.
Big match coming up at 145 pounds, third place match. Chance Damel of Hoisington and Bo Beamer of Beloit. Now, why is this match big? We will discuss as far as team implications
right after this on Smoky Hills Public Television. And back to action as the injury time has been stopped at 132 pounds. That is Studley of Phillipsburg trailing Soward of Halstead 3-0, 45 seconds remaining, full screen.
And we'll get to the beginning of the 145-pound match. Chance Damel of Hoisington and Bo Beamer of Beloit. Now, this big for team implications as far as if Damel from Hoisington wins this match, Hoisington will at least temporarily move into second place.
Might turn into a game of cat and mouse between Hoisington and Hoxie. Like, for instance, if Damel were to win this by fall, then Snyder or Jurgi Deibel would know, hey, we're going to keep this half-point lead. I've got to win by fall.
And winning by fall this deep into a state tournament's pretty tough.
4-2 now your score. Halstead wrestler Soward still in the lead, and he's going to hold on to win as time expires with that score, 4-2. Your third place finisher At 132 pounds is Riley Soward of Halstead.
And our next match, we'll have a Hoisington wrestler on the mat at 145 and a Hoxie wrestler at 152. So again, 145 pounds, Chance Damel of Hoisington and Bo Beamer of Beloit. No score at the end of the first period. Upcoming, Mark Smith of Rossville at 152 and Dalton Snyder of Hoxie.
No score after one period in the Dimmel-Beheimer match. The second period is now underway. Minute 35 and ticking. First period underway on the top half of your screen between Snyder of Hoxie and Smith of Rossville, both wearing white. Snyder with the red stripes and the red and black shoes. Smith with the white shoes on.
And there's a 2-point reversal for Damel on the bottom of your screen at 145.
I believe they awarded an escape and a takedown.
There you go, 2-1. And no score in the 152-pound third place match between Smith of Rossville and Snyder of Hoxie.
Time expires, first period, top half of your screen. Still no score between Snyder and Smith. Snyder choosing the bottom position to start the second period.
And Damel with a 2-1 advantage at 145 pounds, third place match. Damel's lone loss in the tournament last night in the semifinals. He lost to Tegan Lambot of Rossville, 7-3. And Beamer actually lost to Lambot as well, 13-8 in the quarterfinals.
Still no score, top half of your screen as they go off the mat. Snyder of Hoxie able to get to his feet a couple times. Smith doing a great job of countering, getting plenty of lift and elevation and putting him back down to the mat. So minute 33 left, restart in the center, Snyder in the bottom position.
So a Hoxie and Hoisington wrestler on the mat. Still another Hoxie and another Hoisington wrestler to come in this round, and then one of each in the finals tonight.
Snyder trying to come around, but he's going to get himself in trouble here. He's getting locked up in a cradle. He's going to give up some near fall points to Smith of Rossville. Still a minute 7 remaining. He's got a lot of time to try to fight out of this, and he's going to get pinned. So Smith of Rossville with a fall over Snyder of Hoxie.
Now that goes to show you how good Kai Biddle from Central of Burden is. He major decision Smith in last night's semifinals, 11-1. Damel leading 5-1, so Hoisington with a chance to move into second place if Damel can hold on for the next 66 seconds.
And the Indians of Hoxie have another wrestler stepping onto the mat at 160 pounds right now. It's Stephen Yergi Dybel, who will be taking on Colton Johnson of Marion.
And Yergi Dybel, a wrestler that has moved all the way through the backside and avenged a loss. Yergi Dybel losing his first round match to Hunter Stulford of Caney Valley with it was a close match, but ended up Stulford pinning Yergi Dybel It was close up to that point late in the third period, but Jurgi Deibel pins Stalford in the consolation semifinals in the third period.
Headlock attempt.
And there you go, Jurgi Deibel getting a quick takedown on Johnson of Marion.
Beheimer attempted a headlock. Damel was able to roll through and pick up a takedown, so he now leads 7-2 as the clock is ticking down to 5 seconds at 145 pounds. Your third place winner is going to be Damel of Hoisington. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back with more action after this on Smoky Hills Public Television. And back at Gross Memorial Coliseum, Fort Hays State University. 160-pound third place match underway. Top half of your screen, that is Stephen Jurgi Deibel of Hoxie in the bottom position, but leading 2-1 over Colton Johnson of Marion.
Well, Jurgi Deibel's had a good season, but he has really clicked on the backside of this bracket. Just one right after the other. Jason Berkran of Oakley, that match underway with Derek Bayless of Caney Valley. That is a rematch of a quarterfinal win by Berkran yesterday, 6-5.
So a close one.
A close one, and Bayless has looked very good on the backside. We'll see if Hoxie can regain the lead over Hoisington. And they will do just that if Jurgi Deibel beats Johnson. And Berkran taken down, and he's on his back.
Jurgi Deibel's on his back and in trouble too.
5-0 lead for Bayless of Caney Valley over Berkran of Oakley at the end of the first.
"35 seconds left for Jurgi Deibel to fight off his back, and there's not a whole lot you can do other than just keep your shoulder blades up in that position. You can pretty much just lay there if you're Colton Johnson.
And there's the fall.
So Colton Johnson of Marion with a fall over Stephen Jurgi Deibel of Hoxie. Pick up the third place medal at 160 pounds.
Well, that certainly doesn't help Hoxie's cause. And another Hoisington wrestler stepping on the mat for third place, Eric Hellerud, and his opponent, Kyler Atwood of Smith Center. This has the makings of a good one at 182. Was very close to being a Hoisington-Hoxie matchup, but Kyler Atwood from Smith Center comes from behind to edge Brandon Salmons of Hoxie 4-3 in the consolation semis. There's another point for Bayless of Caney Valley, gets an escape on Berkran, and now a 6-0 lead for Bayless.
Minute remaining, second period. Berkran, of course, from Oakley in the purple with the yellow stripes down the side. Bayless in the red, white, and blue uniform.
Berkran, a sixth-place finisher at 171 last year. He was giving up a lot of weight, so certainly more comfortable this year. In deep on the legs, looked like he was very close to getting a takedown, but they go out of bounds with 33 seconds left. Second period, 6-0 Bayless. And the match underway, top of your screen again, a big one. Atwood of Smith Center, Hellerud of Hoisington. Hellerud wearing the Cardinal singlet there on the left side, top of your screen.
Coaches, don't forget to turn in your Coach of the Year ballot sheets, your Coach of the Year ballot
And there's
sheets.
Berkran getting a takedown, his first points of the match, 6-2 now, with time winding down in the second period. So that'll help Berkran's cause as we go into the third. Berkran's choice, he'll take bottom. Kyler Atwood of Smith Center's had a good state tournament. The younger brother of Matt Atwood, a state champion here at 171 2 years ago. He likes that Peterson cradle if he can get that hooked up, always fishing for that.
(6-2), bottom half of your screen. Berkran Oakley in on a low single leg and trailing 6-2, looking to get back within 2 points, and he does. That's a 6-4 match now in the third period. Berkran in the top position, but trailing by 2 with 1:15 remaining.
Yeah, that's 4 unanswered points scored by Jason Berkran, so he's right back in the match.
Reversal on the top half of your screen for Atwood of Smith Center. So he now leads 2-0 and is in the top position, 1:10 remaining second period.
Atwood's lone loss in the tournament came to Tyler Lowe of Eureka in the quarterfinals, 12-3. Hard to believe Atwood third at his regional. Hellerud actually second, so he beat Atwood for third place in regionals last week, or beat Atwood at regionals. Hellerud taking second, Atwood third.
I don't know if that reversal should have been awarded right there, but it was. Now he goes ahead and gets behind him, so a wash, I guess, but 2-point reversal for Hellerud of Hoisington, making it a 2-2 match with 45 seconds left here in the second.
Bottom of your screen, Berkran of Oakley will let Bayless escape. Coach Dylan Campbell says, let him get to his feet, trailing by 3. Berkran's got to get aggressive here with 40 seconds left in the match, the third place match at 170 pounds.
Now a 2-point reversal for Atwood of Smith Center. On the top half of your screen, he's back in front 4-2. 15 seconds left in the second.
Big takedown by Bayless of Caney Valley, now leading 9-4 over Berkran. You see that so many times where a wrestler loses, they come back, meet the wrestler that beat him, and then avenge that loss. It looks like that's going to happen as Bayless with a good chance to beat Berkran.
Illegal hold called there on Atwood of Smith Center. He had that tip in, and they say he had the elbow covered. When you reach underneath, you have to be either above or below the elbow to use that. You can't put pressure against the joint.
9-5 your final as Bayless takes home the third place medal at 170 pounds over Jason Berkran of Oakley.
So it's 4-3 now. Atwood of Smith Center still in the lead as time expires. But it'll be Hellerud's choice as we start the final 2 minutes, and he's going to go down trailing by 1 at 182 pounds.
Yeah, that 182-pound bracket at the Russell Regional last week included Brock Long of Southeast of Saline, Eric Hellerud of Hoisington, and Kyler Atwood of Smith Center.
Another Smith Center Redmond fixing to hit the mat. That's at 195 pounds. It'll be Josh McDowell of Smith Center taking on Jeff Shaw of Oberlin. That coming up momentarily.
McDowell has beaten Shaw a couple of times this year.
Cradle by Atwood. It looks to me like he's got it hooked up. We'll see if he can get it turned. I think Hellerud just broke it. Every time he gets it just locked up, Hellerud's able to break it free.
The referee telling Hellerud to move on bottom.
Stalemate call. 42 seconds left in the match. 4-3. Atwood of Smith Center leading Hellerud of Hoisington.
And no score at 195 pounds. Shaw of Oberlin and McDowell of Smith Center. A flurry of action, though. No points scored. Short fireman's and a takedown by McDowell as time winds down in the first period. 2-0.
Atwood of Smith Center doing a good job of riding here in the third period. Remember, Hellerud has his choice to start this and went down. And now Atwood's going to pick up a couple of back points. He had him there just long enough to pick up 2, which means if he does give up the reversal, he's still going to be leading by 1, but it looks like he's able to step over. Now he's got to watch out. No back points or else you're going to be in trouble. 2-1. If my head was clicking correctly, that's going to be a win for Atwood by 1 point.
6-5, your final. That's a nice state tournament for Kyler Atwood of Smith Center.
Up on mat 2, wrestling for the Consolation Championship.
And a 2-0 lead for McDowell at 195 pounds on the bottom of your screen.
Now 2-1. Escape for Shaw of Oberlin. Again, if you're just joining us, we are wrestling the third place matches right now.
McDowell won the Mid-Continent League, Northwest Kansas League championship as they wrestled in Smith Center this year, kind of a combined league tournament. Shaw did not wrestle in that tournament.
Nearly a reversal. Not yet, not yet, not yet. Nearly. And there it is.
McDowell's fun to watch. He just is always working. Finds himself out of position sometimes, but his hard work usually puts him in, ends up putting him in a good position.
Well, he's leading here 4-1 with 52 seconds remaining in the second period.
Also, we'll get to Riker Greenbaum of Douglas and Tanner Taylor of Burlington, third place match at 220 pounds. So we're down to the final 3 matches in the third place round.
It's my understanding that the Parade of Champions will occur exactly 45 minutes following this round. There's not a set time for it. They're just going to take a 45-minute break to get rid of 3 of these mats and clean things up a bit, and then we'll be off with the championship finals.
McDowell up 4-1. Bottom of your screen, 195 pounds. He's in the top position. There is McDowell on Jeff Shaw of Oberlin. McDowell beaten by Lane Hurl of Goodland last night, 11-2, and Shaw was pinned by Colt Castleberry of Douglas in the first period, both those losses occurring in the semifinals. So there's some back points now for McDowell.
At least 2 on the way. 5 seconds left here in the second period. And they'll be awarded to make it a 6-1 match to begin the final 2. An escape gives Greenbaum of Douglas a 1-0 lead to start the second period. On the top half of your screen,
Riker Greenbaum was defeated by Austin Veach of Donovan West in the semifinals 7-4, and Taylor was decisioned by Riley O'Hara of Goodland, also in the semis 5-1.
There's a reversal and another 2 points for McDowell of Smith Center. 8-1 now the score with 1:44 left.
McDowell firmly in control at 195. Upcoming will be the final match of the third place round. Clay Wilcox of Chaparral and Jacob English of Beloit.
We need coaches from the following schools. Please report to the head table. Ellsworth, Chase County, Burlington, TMP, Marysville, Rossville, and Vernon Central. Coaches from those schools, please come to the head table. Thank you.
Oh. Shaw's been so close on so many occasions, but just some great counters by McDowell.
Yeah, McDowell just staying patient and kind of following the moves of Shaw. It always comes out on top. 7-point lead for the Smith Center senior.
Looks like we're going to have a 1-point match going into the final period. On the top half of your screen, that's still Greenbaum of Douglas in the purple with a 1-0 lead over Taylor of Burlington.
Now some kilt points. Close to being awarded. Just a 1 count as Shaw ends up getting an escape. 20 seconds left, he trails 8-2.
Almost going to need a pin here. So they're down to 15 seconds. And a takedown for McDowell. So 10-2 the score. It looks like that's going to be your final. McDowell of Smith Center, the second Redmond in a row to win the consolation championship match and pick up on a bronze medal.
Yep, consecutive Redmond winning the third place match, looking good in their third place matches. Atwood just a junior, and McDowell will cap his senior year with a win. Also getting ready for the third place match at 285.
For Taylor of Burlington, that puts him up by 1. 2-1 now the score. 1:13 left. We'll see if Greenbaum can get free, and he does. We've got a tie match as we come down to the final minute at 220 pounds.
This has been a state tournament where we haven't seen very many overtimes. Even today, all these consolation matches had very few overtimes. Could we be headed for one here? Third place at 220. Just about ready for Clay Wilcox of Chaparral and Jacob English of Beloit, third place match at 285.
There's a shot by Greenbaum. See if he's able to finish it. He's got the single leg, switches to a double. Now a throw by Taylor, but a roll through by Greenbaum. And the 2 points is going to go to the Douglas wrestler and put him up 4-2. With 21 seconds left.
Boy, just so close for Taylor not only to get the takedown, but also back points and just a roll through.
Yeah, so close to not getting taken down, too. He got to his feet pretty quick, but just moments after the official had already awarded. And there's one, so it's a 1-point match. 4-3, Greenbaum of Douglas in the lead, 11 seconds left, now 10. And we saw what Taylor does yesterday when it comes down to the final 10 seconds and he's behind. He goes crazy.
There is a takedown. Are they awarding it to him? The referees are pointing at the edge of the mat. Boy, that looked like 2 to me, but, and there it is.
So what did I say? He goes crazy. 10 seconds left. He wins 5-4. That's Taylor of Burlington, your third place finisher at 220 pounds.
Well, matches get no closer than that. That was literally a second left on the clock when he got that takedown. 5-4 win for Tanner Taylor of Burlington. Full screen now for 285. Clay Wilcox of Chaparral and Jacob English of Beloit. These wrestlers have been ranked, anywhere between 1 and 3 throughout a lot of the year. Wilcox was number 1 early in the year. number 3 at certain points. Number 2, English has been ranked as high as 2. Bottom line should be a good one at 285.
Yeah, a total of 6 losses on the season between the two wrestlers. Only a total of 4 coming into the tournament, but of course they each lost to the semifinals. Therefore meeting here for 3rd and 4th place.
English, a 5th place finisher last year at 215. He's gotten a little bit bigger, trying to put on some football weight. He'll play football for the University of Wyoming next year. And Wilcox, a 3rd place finisher at 285 pounds. And a warning for stalling on Wilcox, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Still no score, 47 seconds remaining, 2nd period. English of Beloit in the white, and in the top position, Wilcox of Chaparral in the yellow.
Well, as far as 2nd place, team implication-wise, it's going to come down to the finals between Hoxie and Hoisington. If you had to give favorites, I would say both Hoisington and Hoxie would be favorites in their respective championship matches.
If they both win in the same manner, Hoisington will finish in 2nd. But don't forget Goodland.
And Goodland has 2 wrestlers in the finals, 2 of those upper weight wrestlers. And both of them with pretty good chances to win. I think Riley O'Hara will be a big favorite at 220. Hurl will have a tough opponent in Castleberry from Douglas. But yeah, Goodland right there as well. So English's choice, the Beloit senior, will be on bottom to begin this period.
Looking for the escape to break the tie. It's still 0-0. And he gets a reversal instead. Goes up 2-0. Of course, he was able to ride Wilcox the entire 2nd period. So we'll see if he can hold on here for the final minute 20 and take home 3rd place.
It's always big when your heavyweights can get a reversal. You see them escape so much. That's a reversal and another point awarded for that. 2-0 English with a minute left. In fact, a minute left in this 3rd place round.
Now he's going to get some back points. He might pick up the fall here, as big as Jacob English is. And he does. There's the pin for the Trojan from Beloit. It is Jacob English, your 3rd place finisher at 285 pounds here at the 321A State Wrestling Championships. See him getting his hand raised there. We're going to go ahead and take a break here. Be back in about 40 to 45 minutes for the Parade of Champions and the championship finals. And of course, by then we'll have updated team scores for you as well here on Smoky Hills Public Television. See you in a bit.
This presentation of 321A State Wrestling on Smoky Hills Public Television is made possible in part by an underwriting grant from Rural Telephone and Nextech. Providing the region with telephone, internet, cable television, and wireless phone solutions, Rural Telephone and Nextech proudly support public broadcasting and all ventures dedicated to improving Kansas communities.